Hello everyone, my name is Ernesto and welcome to Ligas en Charolas.
No!
And today we're... Sorry for the interruption, but we had a little technical issues. So welcome to a new book review.
Jules Gabriel Verne was born in Nantes, the 8th of February of 1828. He died in Amiens, the 24th of March of 1905. He lived during the Second Industrial Revolution. That's why his works always have fantastic machines. His imagination, plastered in the books he wrote, was always praised.
Some of his works are 5 Weeks in a Balloon, Journey to the Center of the Earth, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. But today, we're going to talk about one of his most famous works, Around the World in 80 Days.
The first edition of this book is from 1873. This book focuses on the adventures of Phileas Fogg, an eccentric British gentleman. He abandoned his routine to fulfill a bet that he made with his college of the Reform Club, in which he risked most of his fortune, betting that he could go around the world in 80 days, using the available transportation in that era.
During the trip, he will be accompanied by his newly hired butler, Jean Passepartout. In the journey, he will deal with road delays in the means of transport and the pursuit of Detective Fix, whom engages in a hunt for Mr. Fogg, trying to get an arrest warrant from the British Crown, because he believes that Mr. Fogg stole £55,000 from the Bank of England.
At some point, while traveling in India, they came along a kidnapping of a woman, which, thanks to the quick thinking of Passepartout, they managed to save and travel with them the rest of the trip.
After arriving to America, they stumble across a political meeting and Mr. Fogg had his honor insulted by a man named Colin Proctor, that later on would help them to fight against a tribe of the US, later rescuing Passepartout and at the end with Fix help crossing the country.
After leaving the USA, they managed to steal a ship from a captain, Tugh. At the end, they paid him double the value of the ship and finally reached England.
Then, back in their house, thanks to the new engagement of Aouda and Mr. Fogg, which finally understood the importance of relationships and said that he loved Aouda, Passepartout realized that because of the way the day-night cycle works, they were not late, but almost. So, he pushed Mr. Fogg and he made it in time, winning the wage and becoming rich again.
The first theme we are going to talk about is the Industrial Revolution. The technological advances in the transportation of that era can be framed in this book. When he was a kid, Jules lived the Industrial Revolution, an event that drastically changes the technology in that time, transforming the way everyone lived, even changing the economy.
We are not going. Oh, this English. If this was an American craft, we should roll up, perhaps, with which that all events go faster. Anything one man can imagine, other men can make it real.
The first phrase is a jab towards the American craft, making a reference of their inventions being dangerous or crazy, but with noticeable results. While the second means that thanks to the evolution of technology, they could build things that were impossible to build before.
The next theme is related to the last one in a very close manner. This is the pursuit of happiness, and because of the Industrial Revolution, the people did not need to have a high social status to have money, meaning that they could actually be rich. Thus, now the rich people have almost nothing to aim for, so they are looking for new challenges, such as our main character, Mr. Fogg.
But what then? What had he really gained by all this trouble? What had he brought back from his long and weary journey? Nothing, you say? Perhaps so. Nothing but a charming woman, who, strange as it may appear, made him the happiest of men.
As we saw in the last quote, he found love and happiness because of the relationships he made at the end of his trip. Nonetheless, it is not directed to the rich people, but to the poor people as well, making a contrast between a type of person that, at that time in society, a rich Englishman was considered to be the most happiest of all, showing otherwise and that happiness was something everyone should look for. And the last main theme is a political position of power that the Crown of Great Britain had within many other countries, due to these countries being colonies of Great Britain. This is a political issue that we infer from the next quote. All the detective's hopes and wishes were now centered on Hong Kong. Hong Kong was the last English ground on which he would set foot.
Jules lived during the Restoration of France, a consequence of the Treaty of Vienna. In this period of time, France were reigned by the Bourbon family, creating an empire that oppressed the people.
After all this mess, we can finally understand that the book is mainly focused on the political, social, and economical changes around the world caused by the Industrial Revolution, the consequences in a way connected to the Treaty of Vienna and the expansion of the empires of Europe through colonialism.
And well, this is all for this time. See you next time. Hope you have a great day. Bye. Bye.